I wanted to talk about some signs that really suggest that you should be adding coaching to your business this year or next year. They kind of look at what I'm doing online, with their head cocked to the side and kind of marvel like, that's so interesting that you're able to do that. Definitely check out this podcast episode because I'm going to be going over the signs that suggest, maybe you should add this to your existing business. Hey, Courtney Sanders here. Welcome back to my podcast. If you are listening to this on iTunes or Spotify, you can come on over to YouTube in order to watch the video version. But in today's podcast episode, particularly because I'm recording this at the end of the year, I wanted to talk about some signs that really suggest that you should be adding coaching to your business this year or next year, again, depending on when you are watching this. And I thought about this because in my personal life, I have a lot of friends who run very successful traditional or even brick and mortar style businesses. So whether it's service-based businesses like, attorneys or accountants or project management or whatever, your traditional business, they kind of look at what I'm doing online, with their head cocked to the side and kind of marvel like, that's so interesting that you're able to do that. On top of that, a lot of them are inundated with requests from people, asking, can they pick their brain? In fact, I just did a video on how to turn those can I pick your brain requests into paid clients. So this is actually kind of a follow along with that, particularly if you're already an existing entrepreneur or you already have a business and you're seeing all of this fanfare and hoopla about online coaching, but for the longest you've brushed that off and thought, oh, not me, that's a fad, I can't be one of those people who offers coaching. Definitely check out this podcast episode because I'm going to be going over the signs that suggest, maybe you should add this to your existing business. All right, the first sign that you definitely should be adding coaching to your business is you're successful. Yes, I find this so fascinating that there's so many successful entrepreneurs and they see other people who are starting coaching businesses for the first time, right? Where coaching is their first foray into entrepreneurship and they're becoming successful at it, yet they look at themselves and think, oh, I couldn't do that. And I'm like, what? You're already successful in whatever traditional or existing business you have. Certainly you would be successful in coaching. Even more so, I would say, than people who are starting from scratch because you do have some level of discernible expertise and you have some success that other people want to replicate and want to emulate. So if you are getting a lot of people asking you, hey, can I take you out to lunch? I want to learn how you built this business, how you did this thing. You really should consider adding coaching alongside your existing business because there are so many other people who want to learn how you've navigated the terrain and how you've been successful at whatever it is that you do. And I say this because oftentimes when you've been running your own business for years, a lot of what you do, you feel like is old hat or is not that big of a deal or other people don't find interesting. And you would be shocked at how many people who are starting from the ground up in your industry who would love to know how it is that you've done the different things that you've done. In fact, I even think about this in my experience with, again, friends that I have gone to lunch with and they tell me about their businesses or masterminds that I've been a part of with other entrepreneurs, particularly women entrepreneurs. There's all kind of things that they talk about that are so mundane to them. I remember I was on a mastermind call with a woman who had purchased a business. And I was like, wait, back up. Like, how did you do this? This business is really expensive. Did you have millions of dollars sitting in the bank? And she walked me through this whole process like, oh no, of course I didn't use my own money. This is how I raised capital. This is how I was able to finance a portion of it. Here's how we managed the debt long term and then use the business essentially to pay off the debt that we had taken out in order to purchase it. And I was completely fascinated that this was even an option because this isn't something that I was familiar with. And I was asking a lot of questions about that. So even though she was working in a traditional business, I think for her business, it was a staffing and HR company, that alone, that specific level of expertise that she was successful at is something that she could spin off into a whole line of coaching. She could be coaching other women entrepreneurs, how they can grow their success and grow their business by purchasing other businesses that might, have some some synergy with the businesses that they already have and different ways to finance that. So again, if you are successful, you've done something successfully, you have a track record, and people ask you about this all the time, that is a good sign that you would do well adding coaching to your existing business. But hopefully you enjoy mentoring others. Yes, you cannot add a coaching business to your business if you don't enjoy mentoring others. Well, I guess you could, but you probably hate it and it wouldn't last very long. So if you're looking to add this as an additional revenue stream, definitely check in with yourself and say, you know what, do I really enjoy mentoring others? And again, I thought about this because of all of the requests that my friends personally field from other people who are interested in picking their brain and taking them out to lunch and really looking for their mentorship. And so they've come to me for support in launching that coaching business because they're like, wow, I'm getting so many mentorship requests. I really want to mentor all of these people, but I don't have time, right? I can't go to lunch, every single day. I'd be going to lunch 3 times a day, just trying to, share my wisdom and my expertise. And so really having a coaching business is really a streamlined way for you to get your expertise out there, especially if you really do value helping others, get into your field and be successful. I know a lot of people who have really found success in arenas that typically maybe other women are not successful in, or maybe they're from a particular ethnic background or they're a minority, and they don't see a lot of people that look like them in this particular field, and so they have a real heart and they feel very passionate about helping people from their same situation, rise up through the ranks and find success in their particular arena. So if you find that that's you have a passion for this, you really enjoy mentoring, that is a really great sign that you definitely should add coaching to your business. And not only should you add coaching to your business just so that you can mentor, but you'll find that the people who are actually asking you, hey, can you mentor me, would really appreciate if you had a formalized way where they could get knowledge from you. I think a big misnomer that a lot of these entrepreneurs have when, again, people are reaching out to them, hey, can I pick your brain? Can I take you to lunch? There's this reluctance to want to add a coaching business because they feel like, oh, will people get mad at me? Will they think that I'm being a gatekeeper, if I say, oh, I have this coaching program and now I'm charging for this information. But I found that people who are serious, the opposite is actually true. They would actually prefer to pay you and to go through a formal coaching process because they have a stronger guarantee that they're going to get the information that they're actually looking for. As opposed to if they're just kind of hitting you up and saying like, hey, can I take you out for lunch? They might feel a little guilty, like, oh man, this person is giving me such amazing information. And I'm sure this lunch that I'm taking them out to is like, not comparable to all the value that they're giving me, but also they might feel reluctant to ask follow-up questions. And again, they really want support, but they feel awkward of taking more of your time. Where if you had a dedicated formal coaching program that coached them and others like them through this particular process, they would feel more comfortable and they would feel like they have the opportunity to truly get what they need. So if you feel reluctant about adding coaching to your business because you're worried that, people will think you're stuck up or that you're gatekeeping, nothing could be further from the truth. People want to pay you for your expertise, but you just have to create a lane for them to do so. Now, the next sign that you should definitely add coaching to your existing business is if you want to add an additional 6 or even 7-figure revenue stream. Yes, I think one big misconception that a lot of traditional or brick and mortar business owners have when it comes to adding coaching to their business is that it's this kind of like frivolous thing that is really not worth their time. And I think they underestimate how much they can actually make, even if they don't do coaching programs, even if they do, courses, even if you're doing, $1,000 course, if you have 100 people enrolling that over the course of the month, that's an additional $100,000 that you just added to your bottom line. And I don't know many business owners, even business owners that are making millions and multi-millions of dollars a year, who would turn their nose up at an additional 6, again, or even 7-figure revenue stream. So if you're looking for something that's semi-passive, right? Coaching isn't completely passive, but there are ways to make it easier on your time, particularly group coaching or courses. If you're looking to add that kind of semi-passive income to your business, again, you enjoy mentoring others, this might be a bit of a legacy play for you. You really want to extend your knowledge and package it up so that it, exist even beyond you, right? Maybe your business lasts, even after you pass away, and you can pass this down to your kids, and all of your knowledge is, packaged up in all of these courses and all of these coaching programs. If that sounds interesting to you and you want to make a good, fair amount of change in the process, that is definitely a good sign that you should add coaching to your business. So don't sleep on how much money it can make. You might find, and I've actually seen this, where people are, really married to their existing business and they're like, oh, this coaching thing is my side business. And over time, the coaching business actually grows so much that they either sell or stop doing the traditional / brick and mortar business that they were doing. And they dedicate all of their resources to the coaching business because that's how lucrative and profitable it can become. So again, if you're watching all of these people launching coaching businesses, many people who are brand new to entrepreneurship, who didn't even have existing businesses, and you're seeing how successful that they are becoming, imagine how much more successful you could be already having that business experience and already having that expertise that people are looking to pay for. Now, the next sign that you should add coaching to your existing business is if you have an itch to create content. Now, I know this is slightly controversial because a lot of people are like, I'm not trying to be on Instagram. I'm not trying to be on TikTok. Courtney, I don't want to be like you on YouTube. That seems like too much work. So if that's you and you're like, I'm not really interested in creating a lot of content, then I would actually caution you from adding coaching as an additional revenue stream to your business, because that is the one thing that coaching businesses really require. It does require a steady stream of content. However, if you are already going in that vein, again, you like mentoring, you like sharing your wisdom, and you were already kind of thinking of, man, I would really like to start a YouTube channel, or I would really love to launch a podcast and talk about my best practices and all of my lessons learned. That's an amazing sign, because you can repurpose and repackage a lot of the content that you're going to be creating online anyway and use it as marketing materials for your coaching business. And so part of the reason why creating content is so important when you're looking to add coaching to your business is because by definition, when you're selling coaching, you're essentially selling your expertise, you're selling your wisdom. And so you want to have an opportunity to demonstrate that to prospective clients. Oftentimes when we are working in traditional or brick and mortar businesses, you as the CEO might not be the face of the brand. You don't necessarily have to share your wisdom. You just kind of have your head down and you're focused on helping your employees internally, or maybe dealing with customers directly, but you don't really have a brand based on, your knowledge and your expertise. But when people are looking to receive coaching from someone, they are kind of testing the waters by checking out your content. And so if you have a plethora of content that really shows that you know your stuff, that you've been doing this for a long time, and that you really have expertise in this industry, oftentimes that alone is enough to sell your coaching, right? Someone stumbles on an Instagram post from you that is really, really beneficial, or they find a YouTube video that you created that completely has blown their mind about your particular expertise. They're going to raise their hand and say, man, where can I get more of this information? And that's where your coaching and your courses come into play. But again, it's very difficult to sell that if people can't get a taste of what your expertise is like through your content. So if you're already willing to create content, you are already moving in that direction. Again, you're looking to launch the podcast, or you're looking to launch the YouTube channel, that's a good sign that adding coaching as an additional revenue stream would be great for your business. And along that vein, around creating content, the next sign that you should probably add coaching to your existing business is if you are willing to create a personal brand. And this is my favorite thing to help people do, because again, I see so many amazing entrepreneurs, especially so many amazing women entrepreneurs, who really at a 360, holistic lifestyle level are so amazing. And I'm just like, people need to see how amazing you are. And so a personal brand, similar to the need to create content, a personal brand is so important when it comes to selling your coaching and your expertise in a coaching business, because at the end of the day, people want to buy into you, right? Yes, they know that you're an expert in the field, and yes, they know that you know what you're talking about and that you have great information that you can share with them. But oftentimes people will come into your coaching programs because they really admire the way you navigate the intangibles, right? For instance, maybe you're a woman entrepreneur and you are succeeding in a male-dominated field, and you have a lot of expertise that you can share about that in a coaching program, but people really admire and respect how you've been able to navigate this by balancing your family and your business at the same time. Again, that intangible is often something that will draw people into your coaching business, but it's difficult for people to see that if you're not willing to be the face of your brand and you're not willing to build a personal brand. So again, this kind of goes part and parcel with being willing to create content, but I just say this because it's not enough just to only put content out there, right? Oh, okay, I'm gonna, throw some posts post up on Instagram and I'm going to throw some videos up, but show people the behind the scenes of your life. Be the face of your brand. Yes, we want to see, what are you doing in your off time? Where are you traveling? How are you maintaining your personal and your family relationships with your business? How do you navigate challenges behind the scenes? If you can show glimpses of that through your personal brand, and for the record, no, you don't have to show everything. I know that is a big concern that a lot of my traditional and brick and mortar business owners and entrepreneurs have is, oh my goodness, if I start a coaching business and I get online and I become a personal brand, am I going to have to take pictures of everything that I'm eating and, overshare and talk about every fight that I've had with my spouse? No, you definitely don't need to do that. But you do want to give glimpses of how you navigate the world, because people are also finding you interesting and they're really connected to the way you do things. That's why they want to be coached and be mentored by you, right? For me personally, I look at not just what someone has accomplished, but the way that they have accomplished it. So when I'm looking for my own mentors, if I see someone that is very successful, but they're also successful at maintaining their family relationships, they're successful at maintaining their health, they have a positive demeanor, I'm more likely wanting to coach and mentor from them than someone who, has made all the money in the world, but they're very isolated, they're estranged from their family and they're just go, go, go all the time. That's not someone that I want to be coached by. And so understand that your prospective clients who are looking to you, yes, they want to make sure that you have the right expertise, but they're also kind of looking at your lifestyle and seeing if it is in alignment with the values that they hold dear, and ultimately, are you the person for them? So if you are willing to build a personal brand, or maybe you've already started, you started to develop a personal brand, you want to put yourself out there more, maybe you've been behind the scenes in your business, but you're starting to come out and you want to be the face of your business, these are all great signs that you should definitely add coaching to your existing business. All right, thanks so much for listening or watching this podcast. Hopefully this was really helpful for you. If you're committed and you're like, cool, I'm down, I want to add coaching as an additional revenue stream to my business, I invite you to apply to my signature coaching program, which will not only show you how to coach by giving you an accredited coaching certification, we'll show you how to package all of that expertise into your own methodology, and then we'll even help you launch your business. So we have plenty of templates and marketing things that we can walk you through so that you can have your coaching business all set up and ready to go alongside of your existing business. So if that sounds of interest to you, go ahead and click the link below to learn more about it. You can apply, and if accepted, you'll be invited to an enrollment call with my team who will walk you through the entire process. All right, thanks so much for watching this podcast or listening to this podcast. If you loved it and you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And of course, if you're listening to this on iTunes and Spotify, make sure you're subscribed so you get notified when all of my new podcast episodes comes out. And either way, regardless of where you are listening or watching this episode, make sure that you are following me on both Instagram and TikTok. It's CourtneyLSanders on both platforms. And with that, I'll see you in the next podcast. Bye.